Hi, I am Picasso with the Eagle Riders MC here in Las Vegas. I am here with...
I am Hollywood with Black Patch MC here in Las Vegas.
So sorry, we've been drinking a little bit today, so I apologize if we're a little loopy. Today's video is going to be an interesting one. So we did a whole series of videos on officer positions. So your president, vice president, sergeant at arms, secretary, treasurer, all of those. And so we did a whole series on those. You can see that playlist on our channel. Today, we're going to talk a little bit more about expanded roles in the motorcycle club or RC or whatever, or even just in your riding group. But a lot of times clubs will have other officers. They're usually non-voting officers, and it's typically your road captain, which is an extremely important position. They're essentially in charge of the club when you're in motion, when you're rolling. They're in charge of plotting the routes, all that. We're not going to talk about that position today, although it is a very important one. We're going to do that in a separate video. And there's other videos we're going to talk about that may seem less important. We're starting to see club historian as an officer now. I've seen PRO, which is becoming a really common one, which is public relations officer. Nowadays, in the world of social media, it's kind of unavoidable that your club's going to be on some form of social media. And the more you are, you know, that becomes an important position. Or some people think that those are positions that are just completely ridiculous and you should never have them. But one of the positions like our club has, and it's a non-voting, kind of like a casual position. They may or may not wear a flash, as a tailgunner position. And generally, it's a somewhat important position if you have especially a larger club. We have discovered it's really important to have a tailgunner. I've known some clubs that have maybe not had a tailgunner, but they've done like a road lieutenant as opposed to a road captain, right? I've seen that from time to time. And essentially, this person might work directly with the road captain. And they're essentially in the back of the pack, right? So they're the ones that are riding all the way in the back. So why is it important to have a tailgunner, right? There's a lot of different reasons. I can express why we have one in our club and why it's so important to us.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah,
why?
of course. Yeah.
Is it because you steer from the rear?
Because you steer from the rear. Well, that's one of the main reasons. We joke about that, right? He likes that line. You steer from the rear. So, you know, when you're in a good pack, right? You got 20 bikes rolling, and you know, if you're riding up front, you can't really see what's happening a quarter of a mile behind you. So our tailgunner steers the group. They're the ones that change lanes. They're the ones that are always kind of watching what's behind us, and monitoring the safety of everybody rolling from the back, right? So again, they kind of work with hand signals. They work with communicating. Sometimes I've seen some clubs that have a tailgunner where they're on a comm unit to somebody in the front. Could be maybe the president, the road captain, and they communicate how to move the club around. One of the main things that our tailgunner does is, which I find to be extremely important, is they carry all the safety equipment.
Yeah.
So reserve tank of gas, that's the tailgunner. Security kit, it could be first aid kit, they carry that. It could be sometimes some emergency supplies, tool kit in their bike. So unfortunately, the tailgunner, you know, will have their saddlebags full of a bunch of stuff that they do to keep the club safe, you know?
Well, if something were to happen, they're at the back. So we have a rule that if something happens on a ride, don't just everyone pull over and like, oh, we got to help right away, because then that's when everybody gets
a risk, right?
So the idea is you keep going to a safe spot, and then the tailgunner, who's in the last person, has the safe area and time to pull over and help.
And they can help that person, and ultimately the tailgunner is going to know where the rest of the club's going. So they can always catch up.
And it helps with the so let's say someone just pulls over and, I don't know, loose bolt or something, whatever, and they can communicate, hey, you guys don't need to pull over. Just keep going. We'll catch up or something.
Yep.
It's not an emergency. So it's good to have that communication.
We always tell hang-arounds that ride with us for the first time, we say, if you ever have to pull over, if there's an emergency, do so. Our tailgunner will pull over with you. If it's like, I got to make a phone call, wave him off and he'll go up with the rest of the pack. If it's something like I'm having a mechanical issue, they will stay with you and help you out and get you the aid that you need, right? Other things the tailgunner is very important for is similar to that. Our tailgunner also has kind of a ongoing order that if they ever see a biker alone, even if it's not somebody in the club, if they ever see a biker stranded on the highway alone, they're to pull over and help them out. It's good.
That's something that's been lost over the years in the motorcycle.
It's unfortunate, you know. I mean, think about. I mean, I don't know if you have. I've been stranded on a bike alone before, and I've had people pull up next to me and say, "Hey, can we help you out?" And it sucks, right? But it's nice if somebody pulls over and says, "Hey, can I help you out?"
Yeah,
we all kind of get it, you know. It's a culture thing, and we all sort of understand the importance of helping people. Many of us have been stranded on the road.
And this is probably another talk, but just having someone sitting on the side of the road, giving them a water bottle, they may have help coming or anything. I've done that before. You pull over there, we're good, and hey, you want some water? And then you take off.
Yeah.
But tailgunner, so steers from the rear. And I see like you've put some notes here, like medical equipment, battery charger, extra fuel, bottle of water.
Right.
Because if anyone has to pull over, they will be like if you're in front of that person, those people aren't going to turn around and come back unless it's like an extreme emergency. So that guy or gal shall always be at the back and will essentially come up on them wherever they are in the pack and have pulled over, and they will have everyone around them to have to finagle.
Right, and it's important that whatever supplies the tailgunner has, it is important to understand that they need to update this. So if a first aid kit gets used a lot for whatever reasons, they've got to replenish it. One of the things that I will stress, because I mentioned this in other videos,
I think I know.
I think you know where I'm going with, is if they carry reserve fuel, make sure they have that up. That either they have to have something in it to stabilize it for long-term use, or just once a month pour it in their own tank and replenish it. Just keep fresh gas in there. I mentioned on another video I had run out of gas on a ride one time, and I went, I go to get the emergency tank for my tailgunner. I'm literally pouring it into my tank. And I said, when was the last time you replaced this, out of curiosity? I said 3 months ago. I was like, oh man. And it was a miserable experience riding with it.
On a side note, I did just look it up because I was actually getting some old gas out of my old bike to sell the gas tank. And I had that gas in there for 4 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I'm like, can I use this? Because it's like 4 or 5 gallons. And I looked it up. And so gas technically has a shelf life of, I think it was up to 6 months.
Oh, okay.
Before it loses its combustibility, but doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. You can put it like in your tank little bits at a time with a full
sure, because it blends with the rest of it, right? Yeah.
So that's a good thing to know.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I guess a good little trivia factoid there. But yeah,
simple position, but just as important, I think, as all of them. Non-voting, but if you have someone that's really good at safety riding, I mean, and likes to just kind of do their own thing in the back, I think that's your tailgunner, right?
Sure. Yeah, for sure. And a lot of times tailgunners if you have somebody who rides a trike in your club, they're a good tailgunner. We don't allow, every club has a different rule. We don't allow trikes or Can-Ams or any of that to ride in the middle of the pack. It makes it hard to see in the back.
Makes sense. And they take up such a big chunk.
Right.
It's like a car, essentially.
Really, yeah, it is. So yeah, if you have somebody that rides a trike, they might be a good candidate for a tailgunner position. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll be able to carry more stuff with them too.
The tailgunner. You got anything else?
No, I think that's it.
I was gonna just remind you, we have a playlist. I think we can put it up here somewhere.
Post a link. Otherwise, if not, I'll post it in the description.
Yeah, look in our channel of all the other positions we did: president, vice president, sergeant at arms, treasurer, all of them. And
we're going to do more videos on these non-voting officers, even down to quartermaster. Because if you have a clubhouse, trust me, you're going to need a quartermaster. So those are all important positions, but may not be a voting position.
And these videos are kind of just touching the surface too. I mean, we could probably go on and on about any kind of position, about the intricacies. I think, but if you're a tailgunner or anything, some comments down below.
Or maybe or maybe you never even thought about having one, but now it's making you think about maybe I need one. But it is a great position.
It kind of comes with, as the club gets bigger. Yeah, you kind of need these people. Like some clubs are so big they have multiple road captains.
Right.
You need people to organize the middle of the pack versus not just the.
If your club has got 5 members in it, you're probably not going to need a tailgunner. But if you've got 20 and you're rolling a lot, it's a handy position to have. Yep. And you always know they're reliable. Always know that they have all these things and so forth.
And they're safe. Yeah, it's the same with the road captain. They have to be safe. If you're going to be a riding position, it has to be safe.
Yeah, they need to know what they're doing. So cool.
All right.
If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe to this channel. Leave a comment too if you can. We'd like to hear from you what you think about having a tailgunner in your club. So. But please like and subscribe. It allows us to bring more videos to you. They come out every week, and we always talk about related things on the biker world and protocols and so forth. So, so please like and subscribe. It really helps us a lot. We do our traditional shot at the end of the day. This is kind of boring. It's just some vodka or something. Oh, it's not that bad. All right.
Back to the norm.
Back to our normal stuff on our shotgun shell. Listen, thanks for watching. We hope you like this video, and keep the shiny side up. We'll see you on the next week. So next week's video. So peace. Thank you.